I would do everything that the law of attraction said to do. I'd visualize it. I'd feel it. I'd see my agent calling on my phone. All of the things. But day after day, and I'm talking rejection 3 to 5 times a week sometimes. Like I'm auditioning all the time. And I just was getting slapped in the face. But I think the thing that was upsetting me the most was that this law that I believed in so much wasn't working. That's what upsetted me more than not getting the roles. Now I look back and I'm like, there are so many reasons as to why it wasn't. And I think it came down to...
Welcome to the Mindspo podcast. I'm your host, Rochelle Fox, and today I'm joined by fellow Aussie manifestation teacher and all-around legend, Cleo Massey. Cleo is the host of the podcast known as Pass Around the Smile. She's also an entrepreneur known for her workshops and incredible oracle cards. And you might also know her from the iconic Aussie show H2O, which just happens to be one of my OG favorites. Now, I absolutely loved having Cleo on the podcast because our chat honestly just felt like a big girls' sleepover. We got into why manifestation sometimes just doesn't work out, even when you feel like you're doing everything right. We also talked about why letting go is one of the most powerful things you can do. And we also got into the real messy side of being someone who teaches this stuff. We explored Cleo's imposter syndrome, and she also talked about losing her meditation practice after becoming a mum. We explored all of it. If you're someone that's into manifestation, or maybe you're navigating motherhood or planning to do so soon, or you're just looking for a high vibe conversation to elevate your day, then I know you're going to love this one. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Cleo, welcome to the Mindspo podcast. I am so freaking excited to have you here because from the moment I saw you, you said exactly what I was thinking, which was, oh my God, it feels like I already know you.
Yeah, we've never met in person, just the world of social media.
Yeah.
But as soon as you walked in the gate, I was like, I feel like I've known you for a million years.
I know.
It's so nice. It's so comforting.
It is. And that's why I'm so excited about today's podcast because I just really wanted to do a girls chat about manifesting, mindset, magic, the Delulu world that I think you and I live in.
Always. Yeah.
And I think that it's so nice when you meet someone that has such a similar life, but such a different life, made very different choices in some ways. I'm very much nomadic and all over the place, and you're a lot more grounded in a place that I actually would live. This is my place.
Oh, okay.
Gold Coast is definitely, if I was living anywhere other than what I'm doing, it would be Gold Coast. So I feel like you're an alternate reality me.
How nice is that?
Isn't that weird?
And I feel like I love your sense of adventure when you're off in Europe doing your retreats. I'm like, I could do that. So maybe...
Yeah. 2 peas in a pod doing 2 very different
nice.
things. So I wanted to do a bit of a manifestation girl chat.
Yes.
Just talk about, how you are moving through the world with manifestation, mindset, all the magical things that you believe and do like I do. So first and foremost,
yes,
for my audience that don't know you, you are a bit of an Aussie icon, in my opinion. You are. And I know you're probably going to cringe at this, and this is not what you're known for these days, but I actually discovered you first from watching H2O, which is this absolutely iconic Australian TV show.
It is iconic, I must say.
It is iconic. It makes you iconic. Like there are many things that make you iconic, but to me, this is the coolest of the cool.
Oh, thanks.
It's a show all about mermaids, and if my audience knows me, they know I'm like a merfox. I'm half mermaid, half fox.
Love that.
But from the days of acting and now you are out, you have this incredible business, Pass Around the Smile. You are sharing all of this magic with the world, and you're so creative. I'd love to know, where did your journey with manifestation start? Like, where did you go, oh, this is a real thing?
Do you know what? It was on the set of H2O. Which I feel like that'll make you happy.
Because
it was season 3. So we filmed 3 seasons over 4 years. So I was 11 when I first got the role, 16 when I finished. I think I would have been 14, 15. And there was this scene, and it was in, like, you remember watching it, how it had like the Satori house, like our
Do
house.
I remember watching it?
You're like, just last night.
Do I remember watching it? Yes. Sorry, go on.
Oh, I love it. So we were filming out the back of that house, and my line was something like, Rochelle told Cleo, who told Lily, who told Shania, that Tony said this to Tracy. A lot of names, and on my on-screen's dad line, I had to walk here and do this and do that, and when Phoebe said this line, I had to make sure I was at this mark, and I had this line, and I couldn't for the life of me get it out. Like I I couldn't do it. And on a show like H2O, you have 60 crew members minimum on any day. So I'm holding 60 crew members up. So, they're calling action again and I try and I mess it up. I try again, I mess it up. We get to probably like the 9th take and the anxiety starts creeping in. And I'm like, who am I? Who am I to be on a show like this of this level? I am stupid. I am dumb. I can't remember my lines. I'm so unprofessional. Everyone's laughing at me. And then, of course, am I going to be able to do it? No. Anyway, I managed, I think, on like the 12th take to get the line out, but it was probably the most awful acting of all time. And as I got the line out, everyone cheered, like and they were just trying to be nice, but I burst into tears. I was so embarrassed. Anyway, I came home and at the time I was reading The Secret for Teens. Do you know The Secret, the book?
Yeah, they have a teens version.
They have a teens version, which is just easy to digest. It's so sweet. Like, I can't wait for Indy to read it one day. So I was reading that. So at the ripe old age of 15, I thought I knew everything there was about the law of attraction and manifestation. But what I realized when I got home, I was like, I'm so nervous for my next day on set. I'm going to forget my lines. Like, I'm hopeless. I can't do this. And then I was like, but The Secret says that I can manifest change and that I can manifest a good day. So it actually started with me going to bed that night and putting into practice what I learned in The Secret, which was visualization and acting as if and all the things that we know and love. And I woke up and my day played out exactly how I had imagined it. And that's when I was like, oh, this is cool. And so my love started really young, but it wasn't until very later that I got into, okay, well, why isn't the law of attraction working for me sometimes? And actually, dissected it.
Yeah. You know what I love about that? I love that your first example of manifestation was like a very practical, almost pragmatic, I have who I want to be, and it's a very much not in a year's time. It's like, no, tomorrow on set, I really desire to speak with clarity, to be a different version of myself, and how practical that is. And I think that's just such a beautiful reminder of, there are many people out there that criticize manifestation and say it's super woo, and not in our reality.
That's not here.
That's not us. We're like, give it to me.
Feed me anything.
But I think that this is such a beautiful example of how practical just these mindset shifts can be.
Yeah.
And it's just at that ripe old age when you're really young, just choosing to believe in yourself, choosing to believe that there was another version of you that was able to deliver the lines.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And that I had the power to make that change, not waiting for other people to tell me I could do it or to help me learn my lines or to change something externally. I think that was the biggest thing for me. It was like, no, I have the choice. And the choice is hard or, it's going to take effort, but we have the choice at the end of the day.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So from there, you kind of started dabbling in it. And then you said something very key, which I love, which was you had moments where you're like, why isn't this working for me? Could you go back to a moment? Because I have so many moments where I was like, why isn't this working for me?
So many. And when we preach it and it doesn't work, you're like, oh, crap. But there's always a reason.
Am I an imposter? No, I know that. It's so core. And I think that, isn't it funny how we can be so passionate about something and then people think that we have it all figured out. But the reason we're passionate about it is because we are figuring it out. And we're the biggest test dummies for it.
And don't you feel that sometimes? I'm like, I don't want another test universe, no offense, but I don't want to learn just so I can share with my smileys this time. I just want to I want it all to be easy, but I feel like we're taking one for the team.
We are. So talk to me about a time that you felt tested by the universe.
Like you said, there are so many times, and I think for me it was the repetition of being tested after H2O finished. So I was in the world of film and television, and the crew members of H2O had told me, because they were so caring and I was the youngest on set, they wanted to protect me. So they'd say things like, be careful out there, Cleo, it's a really tough industry. So I'd be like, oh, okay, it's a really tough industry. It's a really tough industry. It's a really tough industry. So I built this huge, belief that it was a tough industry. And a lot of people listening are probably thinking, well, yeah, acting is a tough industry. And that's what everyone says. So that's what a lot of actors believe, which is why it can be so damn tough. So I was going straight into these auditions, whether they were here on the Gold Coast where I live or I was flying down to Sydney. I had an O1 visa for the States. So I was back and forth living between LA and here as well. And I was just so hungry for that big role that would change everything for me, like the lead in a blockbuster, And I would do everything that the law of attraction said to do. I'd visualize it. I'd feel it. I'd see my agent calling on my phone. All of the things. But day after day, and I'm talking rejection 3 to 5 times a week sometimes. Like I'm auditioning all the time. And I just was getting slapped in the face. But I think the thing that was upsetting me the most was that this law that I believed in so much wasn't working. That's what upsetted me more than not getting the roles. Even though to me it was like acting was my everything. I need this. I was so desperate and so needy. So yeah, looking back, there were so many times where the law of attraction didn't work, but now I look back and I'm like, there are so many reasons as to why it wasn't. And I think it came down to definitely lack of self-worth and self-belief. But I think the less obvious ones is, yes, I was visualizing, but if my subconscious mind was saying it's a tough industry, the energies don't match up.
Oh my God, I love that.
Do they? Yeah. So like I'm doing all of the work that the law of attraction says to do, but my subconscious mind is like, Cleo, it's a tough, look at these 10 girls in the waiting room that look exactly like you. It's a tough industry, as if you're going to get it. You're just going to get rejected like the 10 times you did last month. So it was just like this repetitious cycle where I was on such an emotional high of this is the one, like this is the one that's going to change everything. And then back to so unfulfilled. Like, why can I not do the only thing that I want to do right now? It was so depleting. Like I was so unfulfilled for so many years. Like I would sleep in so I would have less of the day and that was only for a short amount of time, I must say, but you remember those feelings.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
And full circle now, you have completely kind of transformed your life, I would say. You're in a different chapter of your life. I'm very always curious, just because we are talking about the past, if you could go back to the version of you who kept getting denied auditions, that really, really wanted it, that was like in that desperate needing. And I think that is such a relatable feeling. We've all been there. Like I have definitely been in the desperation and needing.
Yes, isn't it?
It's a common one. And it's I think it applies to so many things, whether it's like a lot of the time I feel like for women, it's in love or in career or, you know, sometimes even in, you know, wanting a child or wanting to start that next chapter or wanting that house. Like what would you say, like 1 or 2 of the key things that you would, you know, teleport back to that version of you and say, okay, this is what you need to change. Like this is the non-negotiable, how you're going to shift from here.
I would say little Cleo, give up control. The universe has a better plan for you. I was so hell-bent on, no, acting was my only thing. Acting was the only thing that I was good at, and it was the only thing that was meant to be. So obviously I was blocking the process of all of the infinite possibilities that were awaiting me to evolve. For years, I blocked them. Like the signs were coming. I would do my angel cards every single time. I would turn them around. Spiritual healer, writer, speaker. Every single time. I'd shuffle the decks. I was angry at the decks. I was like, this is not what I want to hear. This is not what I want. And finally, I let go. And then life started to flow with me instead of against me. And I think that the second thing I would tell her was that you don't have to wait for something external to be happy, relieved, successful, all of those things. Like you get to choose to be that now, and then the things that will make you happy, relieved, and successful will come. And you don't get to know what they are, and you don't have to know. And like, trust me, it's going to work out better. Like it literally makes me feel emotional. Like I want to be like, trust me. Because do you know what? I actually did the most powerful inner child meditation once, and I was taken back till she was maybe 8. Like she was really young. But even when I was 8, I knew I loved performing. And I said to her, the little version of me, acting's not going to work out in the way that you hoped it would. And she looked up at me and she goes, oh, I don't care. And I said back to her, I was like, what? And she goes, well, are you happy? And I said, yeah, like really, really happy. And then she just smiled and walked off. And it was so real. And I was, oh my gosh, it's there all along. Yeah. You just got to tap into it.
Oh, that makes me really emotional.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
yeah.
So catch us up from the version of you who wanted to be an actor that had this like hell-bent vision of this is what it's going to be. Talk to the Mindspo universe. Like, where are you right now in your life? What are you doing? What's changed?
Okay.
Give us like a little lowdown.
Well,
anyone that doesn't know you.
Okay. In 2015, when I was in that season of feeling so incredibly unfulfilled, this idea popped into my mind to start a blog called Pass Around the Smile. And I think this is such an important thing to note, is that the idea wasn't big, it wasn't life-changing, it wasn't even really exciting. I was just listening. I finally was like, I have to change something because something is not working. I'm just meeting block after block. So I'm going to let go. I'm going to listen. Okay, these angel cards, they keep saying writing and spiritual healing. What am I enjoying right now? Okay, the only thing that I'm enjoying is the research or the videos that I watch on the law of attraction, on mindset, on resilience and all of that. So I'm going to start writing about it. And I think I did not realize that that moment was going to change my life. And I think that's what people need to trust, is like we wait for this big aha moment or this huge piece of good news, and it's just trust the process. So anyway, I started the blog. Slowly but surely people started reading it. And I mean slowly, like it was a slow burn, but I was enjoying it. And I was like, it was feeling aligned. And then I got asked to speak at an event on the topics that I write about. And I was like, what? What do you mean? I'm not a speaker. But then I remembered my angel cards. I kept telling me speaker. So anyway, I went to this event and I spoke and I left and I was a new woman. I was like, what was that? Oh my God, I have a new passion. And it took me a bit to get there, but it was letting go of that control that got me there. And then since then, Pass Around the Smile. So that was like maybe 2017.
Wow.
Pass Around the Smile then just snowballed. I started events and courses in person and online when COVID came. I was giving out other people's angel cards at events and I was like, why not make my own? So I started making my own, and now I have all these oracle decks of my own and journals and meditations, and I have a podcast. And it's like, when something is meant to be, it will just be. And I finally allowed it. And my God, it's refreshing and it's exciting. And don't get me wrong, I still work really hard and I still have hard days. But I feel like for the majority of the time, I'm just incredibly fulfilled. And it feels so good and really empowering.
I love that so much. I want to talk about, so you're a mum. And I have a lot of mums that listen to the Mindspo podcast. And I'm not a mother myself. And I am always so curious when someone like yourself understands intimately the law of attraction, manifestation, and then is now obviously a mum and has taken on that new identity, is on this journey of motherhood. Could you tell me, like, what is it that you feel you might do differently? And I'm sure you had great parents, and we're not gonna dump on your parents, but I think there's a very big difference between someone who's living and breathing this stuff and then someone who maybe wasn't aware of this stuff when they were bringing up their kids.
For sure.
What would you say, as someone that understands manifestation, the subconscious mind, how is that changing your parenting?
Oh, big question. Do you know, I thought I would be more aware and more in tune spiritually with Indy. And I had the most crazy spiritual awakening during my birth. I had a really hard pregnancy. I had hyperemesis. So I was really, really sick, could barely leave the house, totally lost myself. I was a shell of myself. And then the last few weeks I started getting connected again, and I really lost my spark for meditation during that time. I used to be able to meditate and go to another world, and I still haven't been able to do that. So it's something that, not that I resent about pregnancy and birth, but it's something I lost, and it's something that I'm still trying to get back. So I think there's a part of me that's, I thought I would be more present and really nurturing her. I don't know. I guess she's still pretty young.
Yeah, you only just turning 2.
Yeah, she's turning 2 in March.
Oh, you're parenting a 2-year-old.
Yeah. But of course I do. I make an effort to do things like the other day. There was this video of my nanny Waters who died when I was 1. And this is a bit of a backstory. But when my mum was breastfeeding me, she had this like weird kind of like experience and knowing that my nan went into me as a baby while she was breastfeeding me, and she just died. Anyway, I know my nan so well, better than anyone I know on the planet. And we never really met because I was 1 when she died, but I can't explain it. Anyway, there was a video of her. We've never had any footage of her, but my mum found a video of her singing. And the other day, Indy, I showed her and I was like, who's that? And she pointed right at, this old woman's face that she's never seen. She goes, Indy. And I was like, and I must say, like, for context, Indy knows who people are. She can name literally every single family, friend, like she knows who people are. And I said, okay, that's weird. Who is that? And she said it like 3 or 4 more times. That's Indy, that's Indy, that's Indy. And in that moment, I was like, she knows more and there is more to this world. And she knows that part of Nanny Waters is within me. And when I did give birth, I literally, as they say, you go up to the stars to collect your baby. I literally experienced that. Like, I cannot even, Rochelle, I can't explain to you.
I have goosebumps.
And I know as a meditating queen, you would just be so excited to hear this, because it just confirmed to me 1,000,000 times tenfold that there is so much more out there. I literally went into this world of purple light. My nan was there. She handed me indigo. A part of her went into Indy. It was like I was in another world. And then I came out. And then when I had her, I realized it was indigo light that was surrounding me in this world. But since then, I've been spiritually frustrated because I haven't been able to reach that place of like feeling so spiritually connected. But back to your question, I guess, yeah, I'm really trying to nurture that within indigo, but to be completely real, and I think a lot of your mums listening will probably relate to this, is you think you'll do all these things and then you don't. And I think I just have to be easy on myself that I was born again as well when I became a mum, and I'm just learning, and like I'm trying so hard, and sometimes I feel like that's not enough, but like I know it is. But yeah,
I feel like that's the perfect answer, because it's so funny. As a non-mum, here I am being like, what tools and techniques are you using in parenting? Like, but it's true. You are an old version of you died, and a new version of you was born, and it's about you figuring out on the way.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That makes me emotional, that visual. I can't get that visual.
I can't explain to you what happened.
Someone explain it, like have any kind of visual like that. That's amazing.
It was like a proper portal. And my husband said I was in the shower and I just went. He's like, you weren't here. You were somewhere else. And I was saying over and over, Nanny Waters, Nanny Waters, Nanny Waters. I was with her. I just know her so well. I can't explain it. And then, since like meditating since then, it's like, well, what's the point? Because I'm never going to reach that point again. And I know I'm working on this with my psychologist because I love meditation and I need it every single day. And I haven't been honoring that because I'm using that as an excuse. But yeah, like, wow, it just shows me what we in our minds are capable of seeing, achieving, changing. Like, we are capable of so much. It's like, and we don't tap into it enough, and we don't accept how powerful we are. And don't you reckon too, like, sorry, I'm on a tangent now, but you being like, you're Rochelle Fox, you are very highly regarded as like a manifestation queen, a meditation queen, but you are like, people, myself included, seriously admire you. But when I guess you have moments of doubt, or you feel it feels like you can't.
Yeah,
or
it's an interesting thing. I find social media, I was just spending time with my friend called Matt Laycock, and I have to give him credit for this idea, but he was talking about the idea of like there are 3 different like sides of ourselves, but one of them is the avatar, right? And this is like a version of us that like appears in the world. It's kind of our matrix version of us. And I think that we have to understand, as we are souls having a human experience, that the avatar, which these days I think is so heavy because it is this, I don't want to say shield or mask, because I don't feel like I am wearing a mask, but I think that just inherently by putting yourself out there on social media, there are certain energies and sort of, I guess, a weight to people having an idea of you from content, from things. And it is always going to be, whether you like it or not, a curated idea of you, because ain't no one following me around 24/7. I'm not in the Big Brother house. Like, I'm choosing to put what I want to put online. And that then can create a prison of our own making, because then we are being perceived in a certain way, which ideally for most people, we want to be perceived as our higher self, as that idealized version of ourselves. And then I think sometimes that pressure comes from, I think on social media, we have to have this energy and I guess this ability to have vulnerability that isn't in a performative way, but is in a real authentic way. And I just am such an advocate for everyone reminding that like you're a human being. And let me tell you, everybody's shit stinks, including mine, including yours, including everyone listening to this podcast. And I know that it ain't a pretty visual, but it's just, you've just got to remember at the end of the day, we are all humans having a human experience. No one bypasses the human experience.
No, and I think too, like, just because you and I love manifestation and we have a podcast or whatever, doesn't mean that we're more powerful than any of your listeners, because I find a lot of my smileys will be, oh, but I can't manifest like you can, Cleo, because you do this for a job, or you've meditated for years, or whatever, or I can't have that experience during birth because you're a spiritual being. And it's no, we all hold the same power. We all hold exactly the same power. It's your perception of your power that's changing.
Yeah. One thing I would challenge as well, which is a concept from a book called Reality Transurfing, is when you have a heightened importance on something, it's actually harder. So if you have a heightened importance, it then creates pressure, which then creates disruption in the field. So I would say the more importance you have, like the more importance I have on having this idealized version of myself and everything flowing, then the more pressure I put on it, which means the more resistance I put on it. Whereas if you actually, like, when I'm not trying, like the effort of not doing, and I'm just trusting and I'm in flow and I'm surrendering, things are so fast. But it's when I have that, it has to be like this, and I've got to make it like that, and I have this idealized version. And I think it's so interesting because the more you can release the pressure and the more you can just surrender, let go, trust, the
and
easier
does
it
that
becomes.
not feel so much better when you're
It's
saying
like,
those words? You know how you're talking about like the pressure and the importance? I have just finished a book which sounds really similar to what you were just talking about and reading, Outsmarting Reality. And he talks about importance creating space, and that
He's
goes
taken
off that.
a lot of inspiration from Reality Transurfing.
Right, really?
Yeah,
okay, I need to read that.
He's on YouTube.
Is it Neuro Knowledge?
Yeah. Neuro Knowledge is great. I read his book. I absolutely loved it. So good. Sorry to interrupt you, but the book Reality Transurfing, it's a bit of an undercover manifestation book. It's only it's really big. It's huge.
Okay,
but
like a textbook.
Highly recommend reading. The thing is that book, Reality Transurfing, it has what I would say are a lot of very original ideas that. So whenever I see someone talking about it, I'm like, oh, that's reality transurfing.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Yeah,
okay.
Great book. So that was one of my recommendations.
What I learned, was it?
Yeah.
What I learned about, and it was like pretty much what you were just saying with the importance of something, is that when you create importance on a desire, it creates space between you. And it's like, I've noticed the people pleaser within me that's come from a little child actor who just wanted to please and be approved and be validated. Not so much now because I'm really working on it, but I would put people on pedestals. And putting someone on a pedestal or an opportunity on a pedestal creates too much space. Importance. It's bigger than you. How are you going to... And that's like looking back at my acting dream, like now I'm like, can I tell myself 10 million things? My younger self 10 million things is that... Cleo, like this dream is so big in your head. Of course you're not going to achieve it because it's too big for you. It's too far away from you.
The pedestals is wild. I think a lot of people in this day and age, one of my big pieces of advice is that just to always remember that everyone is a human being and everyone is having a human experience. That's how I de-pedestals people, because I just go, well, yeah, it's just another human being. And I like to, and not to think badly of people, but I like to remind myself that person's probably had a fight with their mother and they've got some trauma there and no one is perfect. And I think sometimes in popular culture these days, there's been so many things in popular culture recently where there's like families like fighting online. And it's like, well, this is the thing. No one gets to bypass the human experience. So the minute you think that someone is bypassing the human experience, remind yourself that they're not. They're just showing you an idolized version of themselves. And that's also okay. We don't have to air our dirty laundry online. You can be whoever you want to be. But don't for a minute think that just because someone is showing up that kind of way, that they're always like that.
And like it's your choice of how you perceive their life or their reality. Like you get to choose how you take that on.
100%.
It reminds me of that quote. It's like, you are no better than anyone, nor is anyone better than you.
Oh, I love that.
I really like that.
I haven't heard that one
before. I
before.
really love it because it does just remind you in those times where you're like feeling not good enough, or you're putting other people on pedestals, or the opposite if you're feeling maybe too righteous. It just reminds you that like we're just all equal. No one's better than you. You're not better than anyone. I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I want to ask, talk to me about, you said that your relationship with manifesting and your spiritual practices have changed since becoming a mum. And you're coming back to getting into more meditation after kind of changing your relationship with it. And as someone who's been meditating for a decade, I can tell you, I've changed my relationship with meditating as well. I talked about it on I have a theory series that I've done on the Mindspo podcast. But I actually, in 2025, meditation stopped working for me the way that it used to for a little while.
Wow.
And I had to completely change my practices. And it's now I have, I'm reconnected with it.
Yeah.
But it was just a shift in how I was showing up. So
Yeah.
I'm so curious, as of you right here, right now, what are the tools that you're leaning on and that you're enjoying in your spirituality? Like, is it your decks and your angel cards? Like, what are you connected to?
My decks, 100%, and my journaling is like fun for me, and I don't even know if it's a habit or if it's just I guess it is, because it's just part of what I do when I am feeling a certain way. And when I say a certain way, it could be when I'm feeling incredibly grateful and something amazing's happened, or when I'm feeling optimistic, or it could be when I'm like so angry and so jealous or so, full of self-doubt. So journaling for me is just like the biggest release, and pulling my cards will, like, they always, like, I swear I'm not just pumping up my own cards, but there's magical energy in the cards. Like, they will always tell me what I need to know, and they just bring me back to earth. They remind me that something good is around the corner, or they tell me how to like get out of this funk, or what's However, meditation is, I know the thing that I need to do to create real positive change, because I've shown myself, like when Luke and I, like when we were in our engaged era and we didn't have Indy yet and we were living by the beach, I would meditate every day and get to that, as I said, like I'd get to another world within 3 minutes. And I was so powerful and I was so clear. And I've lost that, and I've lost it for years. And I know what I have to do to get back to it. I have to practice it, and I have to do it every single day. Have I done that? Absolutely not. But as of 2 nights ago, Luke and I had a chat, because I booked this tour. So I'm doing a podcast live tour, and I'm going to.
I saw that. You have to plug that here, because I have.
Oh,
no. Plug.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet.
Everyone that is into manifestation, that is always asking, like, Rochelle, do you know any manifestation events in Oz? Tell everyone about the tour, when it's happening, what's going on. No, come on.
Okay.
Let's
yes.
go.
So Melbourne, 2nd of May. Sydney, 7th of May. Gold Coast, I've booked Hotter, like the big theatre. I know.
Yes.
On
yes,
the 14th
queen,
of May.
go.
I know. And this is another thing we probably should talk about, is like right now the dream for me, it's big, and I need to collapse that space.
Yeah.
Because I'm making it so big and so scary in my mind, when it's like, no, I know this is right. Like I know it's meant to be. But what I said to Luke 2 nights ago was...
Those are the dates. Wait, we're going to...
They're the dates.
Okay,
yeah.
they're the dates.
Thank you.
And tell me, like, just before you get into
Okay.
it, I want to know. So I'm looking online, I'm thinking about coming. What can I expect?
I can promise the audience that you're going to leave feeling incredibly inspired and empowered and heard. I think I just want to create a space in each of the theatres where people feel like supported and excited and, as you would say, magnetic. It's going to be a 90-minute show of all the pieces of my podcast that my community love. And it's going to be fun. It's a fun night out. There will be elements that are serious, of course. We have to do the real work, but most of it, it's a fun night out. Like, it's your reminder that manifestation doesn't have to be serious. It gets to be fun and easy.
Yeah. And I think as well, I want to remind everyone, if you are someone that is into manifestation, you're into this space, the best thing you can do is find community. And that's what Mindspo has always been about,
100%.
like finding community, our retreats, connecting with people. But the fact that you're doing it here in Oz, people that come to these events, they can find smileys, like people in your audience that are probably like living in their city, that might live like 15, 20 minutes away from them, that live in the same delusional, beautiful, magical world, and then they can meet friends when they come.
100%. Do you have a name for your community?
Just Mindspo fam. That's
Mindspo fam.
Maybe one.
Well, the Mindspo fam and the Smileys are just going to be the bestest of
pod.
friends. Like, it's beautiful. And even this alignment, like, it just feels so nice and easy and
chill.
I just want to say magnetic again. I mean, I'm wearing the color. Thank you. I appreciate that. And actually something that I have to get used to is accepting compliments, accepting when people like want to help me, so thank you. I appreciate that.
Pleasure.
But yeah, so 2 nights ago, Luke, like I was January was a really big month of anxiety for me.
Oh, January is a bit of a shit show for me.
Do you know, I feel everyone who is spiritually connected had a shit January.
Shit show. Loved, like, did it.
Got through.
Did it. But it was a shit show.
Survived just.
Yeah, just kind of threading.
Yeah. And I think the only thing that can assure us is that I really do feel it was only the people that were really spiritually in tune that got affected. And now I feel like it's all changing with this Chinese New Year today.
We are recording on I loved when I realized that this was on
Yeah.
Chinese New Year. I was like, oh, we're aligned.
We are so aligned. We
are-
couldn't be more aligned.
We're doing things.
Yeah. So yeah, January, huge. Oh my gosh. I just, lots of rejection with like sponsors and guests and things with the tour. My tour manager got an opportunity and maybe has to go overseas for the shows and just all collapsed. And what have I done? What have I done putting this out into the world? How am I going to do it? Who am I to sell tickets? Like no one's going to buy tickets. Just all of the limiting beliefs, you know. Anyway, I've crawled myself back and I've done the work. I really have done the work to get out of that anxious space. And 2 nights ago, Luke was like, all right, well, what do you need to do to be your best, most clearest, powerful self on this tour? And I was like, meditate every single day. So I've done up a calendar. There's, I think, 75 or 74 days until my tour. And every single day I'm going to meditate and I'm going to get back there because I know that it doesn't matter what I sit down on my computer and plan and do, like email-wise, admin-wise for this tour. All that matters is that I step up there as like my clearest self. I know that if I meditate, I can manifest the most beautiful shows for the audience and be so happy and fulfilled with how I did. And that's all it comes down to.
I love that it's 74, 75 days. Like to me, that's very serendipitous.
Yeah.
So last year I did basically this thing where I was trying to do 75 hard. Have you
Oh,
heard of
yes, I've
75
heard of
hard?
that. Yep.
I tried to do 75 hard and I literally couldn't do it because I was having a lot of nervous system dysregulation. So I did what I called 75 regulated and I turned it into like a program at the end of it, but it was just for me. And I got to tell you, there is something about 75 days.
Okay, this is great then.
It's like that. I literally did 75 days of showing up for nervous system regulation practices
Oh my
every single
God.
day, like meditation, somatic shaking, tapping, all of these things. And just having that 75 days of focus as a runway, it is the perfect amount of time to change, to transform, to make it a routine, and just to feel at the end where you're like, oh my God.
I did it.
I did it. It's not 30 days. I think we've all done like a 30-day
We've
challenge.
all done a 30-day challenge.
2 months
Yep.
is like it. 75, 74.
Oh my God. I
Yeah.
didn't even know. So I feel like the universe definitely has my back and is showing me, Cleo, we're supporting you.
Yeah.
Like you can do this. You've got this.
Yeah. I'm so curious, what's your favorite type of meditation? Is it just, are you a mantra girl sitting down? Is it visualization? Is it breathing?
It's definitely guided meditations. I feel like I usually go for either peace and calm one or like a full-blown manifestation visualization one.
Nice.
What about you?
I am always done mantra for about
Yeah, okay.
like a decade now.
Yeah.
I always say like mantra meditation is my medication.
Yeah, I
So that's
love
like a very disciplined, I would say a bit more of a masculine form of meditation where it's just repeating a sound over and over. That for me has really helped me from like a trauma, PTSD point of view. But then like I love a visualization.
Yeah.
And we need to talk right now about walking meditations.
Oh, yes.
Because the Mindspo fam know I am an absolute fiend for a walking meditation. And you also create walking meditations.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about walking meditations and your process.
It's just, it makes so much sense, right? Like all made up of energy. So when we're walking, we're literally like leaving what we don't want behind us. We're walking away from it and we're walking into what we want. And I just think it's such a nice time to like, you're out in nature, you're looking around, you're breathing in the fresh air, you're listening to these positive words, and you're moving your body. So the energy is just like moving with you. I just think, I love a walking meditation.
Same. I'm a hoe for a walking
It's-
meditation.
I'm a dirty hoe.
I'm a dirty hoe for a walking meditation. I love them.
I love them so much. And honestly,
Do you listen to your own?
yep.
So
Do you listen to your own?
Same.
Yes.
It's so interesting because I think back in the day, my normal meditations sometimes, yes.
Yeah.
But I love my own walking
So do I.
meditations. I'm like, I'm good at this. And
Yeah.
your walking meditations are amazing.
Your walking meditations are great too.
So I haven't done many people's. I think I've done yours. I've done Dr. Joe's. And then
Does he have a walking, as in Joe Dispenza?
Dr. Joe Spencer, yeah. They're very
Oh yeah, yeah.
deep.
But he knows his stuff.
raw.
Yeah.
I've done yours. I've done mine. I've done Dr. Joe's. And who was someone else? You know what? There's this one girl on YouTube years ago, and it was like a compassion walking meditation.
Ooh, compassion's something that comes up a lot that I feel like we probably need to deal with more.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good topic.
It's a really good one. So, and that was one that I used to do quite a bit, but yeah, now I just do my own.
Well, we're really lucky to be meditation teachers because they say when it's your own voice, it's really, really powerful. So like not to put us out of business, but record yourself even if it's just a crappy little voice recording on your phone, like telling yourself you're where you are, what you need to do, like it's powerful.
100%.
Yeah.
I think as well as once you can get connected, whether it's your voice or you just get connected with some kind of voice or music or track, and you can just allow that to bypass your subconscious.
Yeah.
I think there's some people's, I'm very fussy with voices.
Yeah, so am I. Yeah, same. You have a great meditation voice, which is very obvious because like you do it all the time for a job.
I appreciate that.
You have such a good meditation voice.
I think it's very different to my talking voice.
Yeah. Yeah. I think over the years when I first started, I would put on a full voice and now I don't so much. But I don't know. Might go back. Who knows? Might come on one day with an accent. Change it up.
I want to know, in terms of day to day as a mom, right? You're busy, you've got a lot going on, you've got this business going on. Is there anything that's like a non-negotiable for you every single day, that whether it's like a little ritual for yourself, or is there anything that you really do to like tap into energy every single day, or are you just more go with the flow and surrender and see what happens during the day?
It's changed. So before I had non-negotiables, which was either something spiritual, so whether it's a meditation or a card reading or journaling, whatever, I had to do something every day. I realized that is just doesn't happen anymore. And even if I tried really hard, it would probably create more stress of making the time. And like now that she's getting a bit older, I feel like, no, Cleo, that's just an excuse. You can make the time because that will then make your day so much better. But in the earlier days, not so much. But I think what I have been really leaning into lately is just like in a moment where, let's say I drive, I get in the car, not listening to the 1,000 voice messages I need to catch up on, not putting a podcast on. Again, I keep putting us out of business.
It's all right.
But just being present, and I know that sounds cliche, but like just not planning every single second, feeling every single second, scrolling on my phone, making plans, creating like conversations, just actually being like, oh, today I got so much done. That was so amazing. I got this done and I got that done. And really thinking about things that I'm doing or that I've done to actually allow the good feelings to come from that. Because don't you think we just go and we tick all these things off and good things happen and then we just keep going on to the next one.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just trying to learn to not fill every space and just to be more present and not miss a moment.
Love that.
Yeah. And it's hard, but.
And I want to go back to, you said something that was really interesting, which is you've booked this space and you feel there's this like, it's a big space, right? So as someone who teaches manifestation with those fears, and I've had this as well, like I've had this exact experience where I'm like, well, the delusion has now become the reality.
Yes.
And now we have money to pay and seats
people to impress,
seats to fill,
yes,
people to impress, and expectations that I need to meet.
Yes.
Talk to me about, you said you're doing the work. Talk to me about like firstly what's coming up, the raw, real human emotions, which is so normal and natural, and then maybe some of the things that you're going, and how you're dealing with it.
So the raw, real emotions that are coming up are like a huge amount of self-doubt and imposter syndrome. Who am I to do this?
You've got this.
Thank you.
No, but keep going. No. Totally allowed.
All of that. And it's the anxiety that is debilitating because I can deal with negative thoughts. I know to shift my energy. It's when the anxiety comes and I can start to feel it in my chest that I feel really clouded. And when I feel clouded, I can't make decisions that are, in tune with my intuition or with my values and beliefs. And I feel like that's where I struggle. I was pushing forward from an anxious state in January. So I was putting these pitches out for sponsors. And of course they were coming back saying no. But even though I was like, it's aligned, like it's going to work for them. It's going to work for me. This is great. Why wouldn't they want to work with me? And I have been falling into a bit of victim mindset as well, where it's like, poor me. And it's like, no, Cleo, Cleo, not.
Sorry, I wasn't going to ask you to do it.
I just did it.
But no, I need it again.
No, Cleo.
One more time, please.
You do it.
No, Cleo.
See, yours is better. It's the whingy. I like the whingy.
The whinge.
It's very victim, isn't it? Like, well, it's actually so victim. No, Cleo. So they're the things that I'm dealing with in reality. How I'm trying to get through them is, again, something that I read in Neuro's book was like, I know that my tour has already happened. Like, it's been created in my mind. It's a success. And actually all I want to do is inspire the audience and have them feeling really excited. I can do that.
Yeah.
So being like, I know I can do this. I have worked years and years and years to get to this stage. I know that it's right. I know it was intuition-led, not ego-led. And I created it in my mind. So now it's just time to enjoy the process of getting to where I want to be.
That.
And I think I have to remind myself of it though every second, because I feel like myself getting, I'll be relaxed when this is done. I'll feel successful when this is done. And it's like, no, sis. Feel successful now. Feel relieved now because it is done. And that's creating the space between me and the dream when I'm like, I'll just wait until it comes, and it makes me nervous. And yeah, anyway, so that's where we're at.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think it's so nice to everyone that's listening to this to understand and to hear like the raw humanness of things, because
I agree.
we are all raw, imperfect humans in these meat suits, like souls trying to figure it out and work out like, oh, what is Cleo doing, right?
Yeah.
We come and we have this experience, and there isn't a manual.
No.
There isn't some like magical book. Like, I'd like to think that there are books that will help us, but there isn't like this is how you achieve all of your dreams and sort it all out. Like, you have to go through this trial and error.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
100%.
Oh,
Yeah.
I am so excited for you for
Thank
this tour.
you. Thank you. I am too. I'm excited.
Okay, so I want the audience that are listening here right now, how can they connect with you? One, we've got the tour. So we're going to have everything down below for the tour. If you're in Australia, come to the tour.
Yes,
come check it out. Tickets are on sale now.
Yes.
Okay, amazing.
Yes.
And then talk to me about like your product lines, what you do. Like, give me a little bit of a
little bit of a pitch. All right, we'll pass around the smile. I honestly, like, my creations within my e-commerce store, so my decks of cards, my journals, the easiest creations that I have ever made. Don't get me wrong, each deck takes a year to create. Like, they are, my decks, not to toot my own horn, but they're the real deal. I hire these beautiful local illustrators. We work together over a year. All the words are by myself. And there is magical energy in the decks. They're just so magical. I'm so proud of them. I also have a deck for kids. So I've got 3 decks for adults, a deck for kids, journals, meditations. I've got my podcast, which you can just find, Pass Around the Smile. And yeah, that's me, Cleo Massey on Instagram, or Pass Around the Smile. I'm there. I'm around. And I'm excited to be here on the Mindspo podcast.
Oh, babe, I've loved having you on. It's been so nice just to connect, and just, I think for people to understand and just to hear, you know, it's so important that people just to hear like the raw humanness of what we do. Because we are just 2 chicks figuring it out. And just believing. Yeah. Believing in what's possible and trying to make our dreams a reality while also inspiring other people to make their dreams a reality.
Yeah, no pressure. No pressure at all. We're fine. We're doing great. Oh, thank you, Rochelle. I've honestly loved it.
Oh, over and out. Nice. We'll see you in the next one.
Woohoo!
Thank you for joining me for this episode. You can discover more from Mindspo on Instagram and TikTok by following @Mindspo and myself @Rochelle_Fox. If this episode inspired you, then please pass it on and share the love. And lastly, always remember, you create your own reality. So go and make some magic.